Back, your number one job is to lead your team to a win. So for him to be able to do that in his first start, I think is a big deal. And obviously there are some big plays on there, none bigger than the throw to IB early in that game, which was a high level throw and catch. So to be able to find those chunks, I think was outstanding.
Stefanski kind of, why do you do that? Why do you just come out and say, hey, this is cool?
I'm out.
I'll tell you why.
Why don't you just say this? Is this first rookie since when to win?
1995 to win their debut for the Browns.
And I know he didn't go for 300 or whatever. And stats are we're trying to find, it's hard to find all that. But still, at quarterback, the position, the vibe, to win a game like that, especially for Cleveland. Now, granted, he's saying a lot of things that people are like, relax. Okay, you need to – but that's not Shedeur. Like, that is not what Shedeur is, which could be exactly what Cleveland Browns need, which is actually what he's –
Kevin Stefanski just dropped a line that's been echoing all over Cleveland like a warning siren people can't shut off. A line that revealed way more than he probably meant to show, cracking open the calm front he's been putting on and exposing the real tension sitting right underneath all that calm coach talk. The Browns head coach didn't give some cute, polished praise when he talked about Shedeur Sanders. Nope. What he said came out sounding like praise, but it hit more like an accidental confession, and now everyone's sitting around asking the same thing. Why is Kevin Stefanski suddenly acting like he just realized what's been clear from the start?
Stayed resilient together like I told you we needed to, right? Stay resilient together, and we fought together. How about Gage's big punt return on special teams? How about Corey? Every single time you're out there pinning those guys doing your job. Great call. Offense wasn't perfect. How about that big play by Sam at the end? IB, huge play. Q, huge play. Harold making a big play. And then another rookie making his first start. Nice job, Shedeur. Well done. There's that old saying, save the best for last. How about that fucking defensive performance?
Yeah. You ain't winning months. Shedeur, hey, good job over there, buddy. What? Like, dog, everybody's waiting to see what this kid can do. And then he gets a chance to start. They ain't win in months. Then they finally win. And he gives him love like that. Any tripping?
First off, Stefanski, you have 6 wins in 2 seasons. Shedeur Sanders, in his first start, for an organization that hasn't won a game since October 19th, goes out there and beats down the Raiders, and it's nice job, Shedeur?
He give a shout out to like the punter. Like, good job to the punter pinning people. The punter. Shedeur making his first start. Good job.
On November 23rd, 2025, Shedeur Sanders walked into his first NFL start as a rookie and straight up delivered. He led the Cleveland Browns to a 24-10 win over the Las Vegas Raiders and instantly became the first Browns rookie quarterback to win his debut since Eric Zaire back in 1995. Almost 30 years since that happened, Cleveland quarterbacks had been 0-17 in their first career starts, which is brutal. So this moment wasn't just a win. It was a franchise reset, a turning point that forced everyone in the building to finally face how they got themselves into this exact situation. But here's where it turns wild, because Stefanski's comments after the game started revealing the real underlying story. After the win, inside that locker room, when emotions were high and history had just been made, Stefanski stepped up to speak, and this is what he gave Shedeur. He said, then another rookie making his first start. Nice job, Shedeur. Nice job, Shedeur. That was it. That's all he said. A rookie quarterback breaks a 3-decade drought, steps in with almost no preparation, and performs like he's been in the league for years. And the head coach gives him 2 seconds of recognition before jumping to the next topic.
Coach didn't want him. Stefanski didn't want him. So I
don't know if that's so cold-blooded. Like,
I mean, that's what they were saying before when he.
I mean, it's just like, I already picked who I want. Oh, you want me to get him too? Okay, I will. But I think the other guy's better. Like, how would you feel if somebody forced somebody on you? Like, you'd be like, I don't dislike the guy. It's just like I thought somebody else was better. You think I ain't been watching film? Like, that's kind of undermining the Stefanski. Look, it happens all the time. I'm not tripping, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to make Stefanski like a bad guy because he's like, after all of my evaluation, I like this guy.
I'm going to need Kevin to come out here and do the same thing, keep the same energy that he's been having with Dylan Gabriel. Just like when Dylan was out here and it didn't look so great and you was trotting out there in your post game and saying, hey, that's my starting quarterback next week. You need to go out there and you need to tell the media, like, without any hesitation, Shedeur Sanders is my starting quarterback next week against the San Francisco 49ers.
That's it.
Anything outside of that, man, you BSing us, you BSing your team, everybody else. Don't play the games, right?
Yeah.
Don't play the mind games with the opponent, none of that, because you ain't do that with Dylan Gabriel. Come out here after this man just did what he did, and let everybody know this is your starting quarterback moving forward.
Right after that, Stefanski handed the game ball, the moment of honor, the spotlight, the validation, to defensive end Myles Garrett for his 3 sacks. The internet exploded instantly. Social media went off. Fans, analysts, and even former players called out how wild it was that a rookie quarterback just made franchise history, and his coach treated the performance like it was some tiny side note in the middle of a highlight clip. What it looked like, plain as day, was a coach who finally had no choice but to acknowledge Shedeur's talent while still trying to protect the decisions he made earlier in the year. Decisions that kept Shedeur on the bench for 6 straight games, even though the team was struggling. Here's the timeline everyone needs to keep in mind. Shedeur Sanders was drafted in the 5th round, 144th overall by the Cleveland Browns in April 2025. A 5th round pick, not a 2nd, not a 3rd, 5th, and this is the same player many experts once projected as a top 5 selection before the draft. But what Stefanski chose to do with that pick tells the whole story. He didn't invest in him, he didn't build him up, he didn't integrate him into the real offense. Instead, he parked him on the depth chart. During training camp, Shedeur was throwing to 2nd and 3rd string receivers, while every other rookie quarterback around the league was getting real developmental work.
Hey, Kevin Stefanski is livid that Shedeur just had this game. It's crazy because the man literally didn't even want Shedeur on the field when the team was scoring touchdowns. Shedeur ended up getting a touchdown anyway. And before I hear anybody say, oh, it was just a screen pass, bro, I see Dillon Gabriel miss that regularly. And then Kevin Stefanski got super conservative with the game plan, right? To the point where he just didn't want the Browns running it up on Shedeur's watch. And then at the end of the game, this man punted the ball inside of the 30-yard line. Literally, the announcers is like, I don't even understand why he's doing this. Like, it was a easy field goal. Kicker had made a field goal earlier in the game longer than that.
How did you think Shedeur handled everything that comes with first NFL start, taking over versus a Ravens team?
Yeah, listen, we trust all of our guys. We trust our guys to perform. He's no different, and playing a backup quarterback role, as we've talked about over the years, that's tough to come in there. But we trust him. I know there's things that he's going to want to do better, but that's why we work.
Then when the Browns traded Joe Flacco to Cincinnati in early October, Shedeur finally moved up to QB2. But even then, according to reports, Stefanski directly said Shedeur still wasn't getting reps with the first team in practice. So basically, the rookie had to stay ready without ever getting the chance to actually prepare. No first team reps, no real preparation with the starters, no setup to actually be ready when the moment came. That was Shedeur's reality. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel, a 3rd round pick with a higher draft label and a totally different level of treatment, got everything handed to him from day one. Gabriel got the starter reps, the full practice preparation, and even the public vote of confidence from Kevin Stefanski, which turned into 6 straight starts, even though those starts were some of the roughest quarterback play Cleveland fans had seen in years. Gabriel completed just 59.2% of his throws. He was getting dragged down for an average of 3 sacks a game, 3, and there were multiple matchups where he got sacked 6 times. Across those 6 starts, Gabriel broke 200 passing yards only once. Just once. And while 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions might look okay on paper, it falls apart once you realize those numbers got stretched across 6 whole games. Gabriel finished 1-5 in those starts, and even that one win felt like it happened around him, not because he took control of the game, but what did Stefanski do? He stuck with him, he doubled down, he kept riding Gabriel even when the performances were screaming that something wasn't working. Then week 11 rolled in, Baltimore Ravens week, and everything flipped in one moment. Gabriel took a hit the ground hard, and suffered a concussion. Suddenly, Stefanski had to make a real decision. No more hiding behind development or patience. He put Shedeur Sanders into the game against one of the toughest defenses in the league, the Ravens. With Shedeur stepping in cold, taking his first real snaps with the starting offense inside actual game conditions, he went 4 for 16 for 47 yards and took 2 sacks. Not surprising when he'd never worked with the main unit before. But instead of sticking with the rookie after throwing him into a firestorm, instead of giving him time, instead of backing his potential, Stefanski turned to him only because he had no other option the next week.
Based on Kevin Stefanski's last 2 years, 2023 he went to the playoffs with Joe Flacco. We lost because Joe Flacco threw 2 pick sixes. Then we went 3-14.
Okay.
And then we're here with 2-6.
Yeah.
Should he be fired?
If you go through the season and you don't see Shedeur once, or like you see Shedeur and like Shedeur gets benched immediately when he makes a slight mistake, I think that's when you got to get rid of your head coach, because clearly he's showing extreme favoritism, and you can't be doing that when you're winning very few games. And that's not even me talking like, oh, I want to see Shedeur play, because I do want to see him play. But
I don't think he would succeed.
I don't know if anybody would succeed in this system.
The only season in which you can have proof that Kevin Stefanski adapted to the players on his team is 2023.
With Flacco, yep.
That's the only time where he changed his offense, changed his game plan to fit his players.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, Chris. I'm obviously, proud of him and proud of this offense, and there are a ton of things to learn from, but I'm just going to, worry about today.
Gabriel wasn't cleared yet. There was no plan, just necessity. And that's the part that makes everything so revealing, because when Shedeur finally got the start against the Las Vegas Raiders, he won. He went 11 for 20 for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and only 1 sack. He dropped a 52-yard strike to Isaiah Bond early in the game. Then later, he launched a 66-yard touchdown screen to Dylan Sampson in the 4th quarter, his first career NFL passing touchdown. He showed poise, he showed control, he showed the exact skill set everyone knew he had back in college. He made smart decisions. The defense crushed with 10 sacks on Geno Smith, but what mattered most was this. Shedeur didn't hurt the team. He didn't make reckless mistakes. He didn't collapse under pressure. He managed the game like someone who should have been preparing with the starters weeks earlier. Even Stefanski had to admit it. He had to say Shedeur moved well outside the pocket. He had to admit that this is exactly what you want to see in a young quarterback. But here's the twist. Once he said that, once he acknowledged the talent sitting right in front of him, he basically admitted something else too. Benching Shedeur for 6 straight weeks was a huge mistake. Think about what that means. Think about the weight of that. If Shedeur played this well with barely any first team time, then why didn't he get those reps in September? If his ability to extend plays and throw downfield is what excites the coaching staff, then why was Stefanski committing to a quarterback who couldn't even crack 60% completion? If this rookie had the confidence and control to walk into his first NFL start, hit the road, face a playoff caliber squad, and still come out with a win, then why did he spend all of preseason and training camp throwing to 2nd and 3rd string receivers? The answer hits hard: ego. Kevin Stefanski tied his reputation to Dylan Gabriel from day one. He looked at these 2 prospects, one a 3rd round pick, the other a 5th, and decided the higher draft label made one safer, smarter, and more reliable before either of them even stepped on the field. He trusted the narrative, not the talent, and now he's being pushed into acknowledging the truth. He's being forced to admit that the play calling, the timing, the reads, the poise, everything Shedeur showed on game day is exactly what a rookie should be capable of executing at an NFL level, which means Stefanski is admitting something even bigger without saying it out loud. He was wrong. Wrong about Dylan Gabriel, wrong about his evaluation, wrong about the timeline, wrong about the entire development plan he built around his early season decisions. But even now, Stefanski still won't fully commit to Shedeur going forward, even after admitting the rookie's performances were impressive, even after saying this is exactly what you want from a young quarterback, even after giving public praise that sounded like surprise mixed with realization. When reporters asked whether Shedeur would start next week against the 49 ERs, he said, "I'm not going to get into that."
Game, you go into it, try and just highlight guys. Miles got a game ball. I thought it was probably pretty worthy. But you're just constantly trying to recognize your guys. We spent time this morning as well pointing out all of our guys and the jobs they did. Point out Gage having a big punt return, which was huge for our team. Your D-line doesn't get 10 sacks unless the coverage is really good. Obviously, a rookie starting his first game on the road, getting a win is huge. So you acknowledge all that with your team.
Kevin, before.
Why wouldn't you, just to see if it does anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play?
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
If he had said to you guys, hey, I want to play, I can play, I mean, would that have factored into this at all, or what was the thinking behind that, and how'd that go?
Yeah, he obviously came in Saturday with his back injury. We were hopeful that he'd be able to move around well enough to suit up on Sunday, but put him through a pregame warm up, and obviously just didn't feel like he was ready to play, Mary Kay. But he's getting better every day, and I'm hopeful that he'll continue to improve. I think he's always done a nice job of that. He's what we appreciate about all of our players is authenticity. He's the same guy every single day. Obviously, on game day, there's a juice that comes with that. There's an excitement that comes with that. But he's played that position for a long time. He knows how to make sure he keeps the main thing the main thing.
That's it. That was his whole answer. He's not ready to acknowledge that 6 weeks of Gabriel were 6 weeks of wasted chances. He's trying to squeeze himself into a middle ground that doesn't exist, a place where he can praise Shedeur without owning the choices that held the team back. He wants credit for recognizing talent in the moment, but he doesn't want accountability for missing that same talent for months. Stefanski knows Shedeur is the guy. That truth slipped out every time he talked about the rookie's outstanding plays and the traits he loves to see in a young quarterback. But fully embracing Shedeur means he has to admit the real cost of his mistake, the opportunities lost back in September and October, and that's the part he's not ready to face yet. Think about what the organization already sees. Think about what ownership and the front office have quietly pieced together behind closed doors. They see a head coach who gambled on Dillon Gabriel, and the gamble flopped. They see a coach who staked his credibility on the wrong player, and the results exposed it. He was wrong, openly wrong, and now every day at practice he's staring at the evidence of that mistake while coaching the very quarterback he refused to develop in the first place. Shedeur Sanders should have been getting chances in September. Everyone can see it crystal clear now. There is absolutely no reason Dillon Gabriel should have been given 6 straight starts while a 5th-round rookie with legitimate talent was parked on the sideline, especially when that rookie walked onto the field and immediately showed poise, accuracy, and decision-making the moment he touched the lineup. Now, Stefanski is stuck giving controlled praise while dodging the obvious question about the future. He's trying to play both sides, celebrate excellence while defending the past. He's trying to piece together a contradiction that doesn't fit, and everyone in the organization sees it happening in real time, and they're landing on the same conclusion. Kevin Stefanski made a huge mistake, and now he's living with the consequences. Because as long as Shedeur keeps stacking wins, as long as he keeps dropping those sharp passes, as long as he keeps showing the control and talent that even his head coach had to acknowledge, Stefanski is going to be climbing uphill, trying to convince anyone that his original choice made any sense at all. And if you're rocking with this breakdown and want more deep dives just like this, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.